engaged in. And the horrible thing about it is that unless you go onto the internet and pick up email from all sorts of wonderful and brave sites, a lot of them in America, particularly Mr. Sunich here will be able to tell us all about, I'm sure, Kevin MacDonald's Occidental Observer site and those sort of things, but also various very good Palestinian sites too. The British people just are not given this information. They don't know, and it's subversive of democracy.
10 minutes, Matt.
Right. Now, Israel's creation was a crime, and it's continued as a crime. The Jews have moved into the Middle East, and their foreign policy has been this. And again. They did it in Lebanon, in, well, my goodness gracious me. They were not content with massacring the Palestinians that they drove out in the 40s and 50s, but they went up into Lebanon, I think, is it 1982? The Sabra and Shatila camps, where the Jews now say, oh, it wasn't us, it was the Christians who did the massacres in the camps, where they didn't shoot people, they just killed everybody with knives. Thousands of people just gutted, men, women and children gutted with knives. But the Christian militia, the Phalange, were under the direct control of Ariel Sharon and the Israelis, and paid by them and armed by them. And it is a matter of recorded fact that Ariel Sharon and the IDF chief of staff were on the walls of a fortification outside the area where these massacres are going on, all of them with huge binoculars, spending hours watching the massacres take place, and they did nothing to stop it. Now, this is iniquity of a very high order. It's also produced instability in the Middle East. We have terrorism going on. 9/11, it is said, was done by Arabs out for revenge. It is said that Osama bin Laden has attributed the disgraceful treatment meted out and still being meted out to the Palestinians is at the top of his complaint list. We've had the awful business near here of the 7/7 bombers, and we've been reminded about it during this inquest that is taking place at the moment. These, whoever did it, the crimes themselves were awful crimes affecting innocent people. But when you consider what has happened to the Palestinian people, what they're enduring now, at Gaza a Christmas or so ago, with phosphorus bombs coming down on them, the massacres left, right and centre, women in childbirth not being allowed to go through wall, not being allowed to go through barriers to go into hospital, and are left to bleed and die where they stand. Horrible exhibitions like this. The awful instances of Israeli soldiers, snipers, going out into Arab villages and broadcasting obscene comments about the mothers of the young lads in there. The young lads get furious, 14-year-olds I'm talking about now, and start stoning the IDF. Meanwhile, the IDF then have got snipers about the place, and they pick them off like rabbits. They regard it as sport. And then the bodies of these kids are taken back, and you can look this up on the internet. There's ample evidence for it, that the bodies of children shot by IDF soldiers are then hacked open and their organs are used for transplants for aging Jews who need new kidneys, new livers, stuff like that. That's how the Jews are treated. But of course we know, Rabbi Joseph, anybody who's not a Jew is a Gentile, and Gentiles only exist in order to serve the Jews. So those little children were serving their provoked into throwing stones. The brave Israelis snipe them and then bomb. They're into hospital.
Murder. Ritual murder.
Well, I'm not going to go into that topic because it's a little bit beyond the scope of what I'm talking about now. But what I want to get across to you is this. These are wicked, evil things being done to the Palestinians that is causing instability and chaos in that region. The Israelis, in order to try and bully their way, cheated on the world and developed an atomic bomb, still denying they've done it, but they've got it. They've got warheads, they've got rockets, which can reach into Europe. The Iranians are now, they say, doing the same. So the existence of Israel and what it's doing has created terrorism, has provoked a nuclear arms race in the Middle East, and on top of everything else, if we just want to talk about cold, hard, commercial British interest, this country is going to be dependent on a wide source of energy supplies, including oil, for many, many decades to come. How much oil has Israel got? Not a drop. We need to be friends with people who can do us a bit of good. That's what national interest is all about. And for any politician, I don't care whether he's the leader, one-eyed leader of a pipsqueak party, or whether he's the President of the United States, if he's going to say what goes on in Palestine is none of Britain's business, then he's lying. Whoever says that, they're lying. It's a vital bit of British interest. It cannot be in Britain's interest. We're no longer an imperial power. We can no longer jackboot our way around the world. We have to live with other people, not in our country. They've all got to go home. We want our country back again. Nobody disputes that. But having taken our country back, other oppressed people, and we are an oppressed people at the moment, other oppressed people have got to be helped. And it is a vital British national interest that Britain be seen as an honourable and brave and principled nation run by honourable and brave and principled people who stick up for what is right. If we don't stick up for what is right, we're not worth a cup of cold spit as a nation. Thank you very much.